Good morning. So the cat's out of the bag. You heard the number, over 24,000. That's one plus over 24,642 lives that have been saved. Because of your work, just last year alone, over 24,000 moms, dads, children, brothers, sisters could have a loving home and could be with their family. Thank you. Thank you so much. I give yourself a round of applause. Thank you. Last night was wonderful. Now we have 4 years left. It was incredible having the MedTech CEO panel with us. The hospital CEO panel. We're going to have the MedTech CEO panel this day. Hearing Mark Casson bring it back to storytelling. McKenna Lee and the Microfixers. The media panel. We need the media in this fight against what I call the tyranny of apathy. It was, so please embrace them. We need to share the stories with them so that more people can join us. Now, the numbers we put in front of you are impressive. 24,643 lives are impressive. The trend lines look wonderful. Last year, we only had 6,430 lives saved, and the year before, 600. But wouldn't you all be happy if our work had just even saved one life? I would, and I know we have. And if you think about it, over 1,600 hospitals have joined in. So by saving just 10 to 20 lives each year, they've accomplished this number. Now, through the commitments you heard last night, the commitments you're going to hear throughout the day, hopefully next year we'll come here and report much bigger numbers. But we only have 4 more years left. One of the things that I have really been wanting to share with you, and I said it yesterday, there's 2 things I don't want to underemphasize. The miracle of medicine. What hospitals do, what surgeons and doctors, anesthesiologists and nurses, what they do is incredible. And we're not here at all to do anything but pay our homage to them and thank them. But obviously we're trying to do better. And we also, the second thing I want to tell you, there's a lot of wonderful people that have been working on patient safety and continue to work on patient safety that aren't here with us. And we thank them for everything they've done. But we appreciate your work even more because you're willing to collaborate. You're willing to come in, put your egos aside, and share together. President Clinton noted a couple of years ago that there's the brilliance and the results of collaboration, that a group of people can accomplish much more than one individual. And the Vice President shared how impressed he is at how we've unsiloed this healthcare ecosystem. And MedTech CEOs and MedTech engineers, along with nurses and doctors and hospital CEOs, government, patient advocates are all here together. Putting egos, putting our differences aside to work on something bigger than what each one of us can accomplish is how we're going to eliminate preventable hospital deaths by 2020. And it's also how we're going to solve other big problems in our planet. Please accept my sincere gratitude and for your generosity and caring, acting out of kindness, collaborating, and making public pledges. I know it's bold, making public pledges to 0 preventable deaths by 2020. You're truly amazing, and I salute you. Thank you. Thank you. Many people are suffering from what I call the tyranny of apathy. We must instead embrace the brilliance of action out of kindness. And I know you have, you're here, but we got to get all the hospitals, all the clinicians around us, all the med tech companies to do that. As hospitals and clinicians, we have to do everything to implement all the processes that can help eliminate preventable deaths. And as med tech companies, we got to put our egos and our desire to monetize patient data and share our data. When I talk about sharing data, I think of the tyranny of the moment when it comes to taking care of patients. When all you have in front of you is just the momentary data, instead of the history, instead of the trend. We have to embrace the brilliance of the value of trend information. Obviously, Oliver Stone coined it, saying the tyranny of now, because of the way we make mistakes in our planet by not knowing the history, by not having a vision of the future. But I don't think he appreciated the tyranny of now hurts us in healthcare. Well, if we truly create the patient data superhighway, where I'm happy to tell you nearly 50 companies have made the pledge to share their data. And just today, IBM Watson has joined in sharing their data, along with the originals, please. Of course, the originals, Draeger, Cerner, GE, Philips. But if we all share our data with whoever can use the data and create analytics, create algorithms that can help predict where the patient's going, then computers can do what is hard for our humans to do. And that trend information, along with eventually the DNA information with the trend, can really help undo this problem in a big way. And by the way, that work we're doing will hopefully unlock the mysteries behind cancer and heart disease and help identify therapies that are most likely to work. So what we've started here to treat the third leading cause of death, which is preventable patient harm, may one day even help the first and second cause of death. This year, the tragic stories that are going to be told, you're going to hear some of them by those who have been left behind, will pull you in like the ones that have pulled us in the last 4 years. There are, along with 3 million other peoples that we've lost globally last year. I'd like to ask you all to take a moment of silence in their memory. You're going to see a story through a child and a husband's eye, where they lost the mom right after a successful delivery. And we're going to use that to launch the actionable patient safety solution for optimizing maternal health and minimizing maternal death. You're going to hear a story of a husband from one of Massimo's own team members, who we all lost. And that's going to help us talk about how medical technology companies can help with sharing their data to hopefully reverse this terrible types of tragedies. What these stories do, they remind us that we just have to do everything. Everything and anything. We can't accept anything less than giving our best. Every industry has to do its best, but our industry has to be the best. And we know to err is human. So we have to have processes in place so that there are human errors that we all make. I confessed to mine last night. Will catch and not fail the patients. When the original Institute of Medicine report came out, which was very, very instrumental in starting all this, they put a title on it, "To Err is Human." And that title was good because it disarmed people, the people who had to do something about it. But I think in some ways that title, "To Err is Human," hurt patient safety because the layperson thinking maybe there's nothing you can do about it. Well, to err is human, but to not put in place processes to avoid medical errors is inhumane. So we have to do something. We have to do everything. Because if an emergency happened right now for you or your loved ones, the system isn't fixed yet. We're not at zero. And you still have to go use the current system. And if it's fixed 2020 or even next year, it's too late for your son or daughter or your loved ones. Just like if there's a cure for cancer next year, it's too late for Beau Biden. It's too late for his dad and mom, Joe and Jill Biden. Too late for Haley, his wife. And too late for Hunter and Natalie, his kids. But today, unfortunately, many people expect to die when they're diagnosed with cancer. But most people don't expect to die from medical errors in hospitals. And hopefully, the Vice President will change our expectation on cancer, and that one day we don't have to die of cancer. But until then, many people, the Vice President, the President of the United States, senators, congressmen, ex-President Clinton, who has committed himself to this for years, and we're going to see him today, they are here to match people's expectation to what hospital stay is about, which is it should be the safest place on the planet. So we're going to hopefully, with your effort, because we're talking, you're doing, with your efforts, we're going to make people never have to worry about going into hospitals. Today, I'm really excited about what's ahead of us. We have some incredible panels. Unfortunately, there are some people that were going to be here with us today that can't because of the snow we had here on the east. So Senator Casey and his wife, who had a near-death experience in hospital, but hopefully they'll be with us next year. Patrick Conway from CMS, Deborah DeSanzo from IBM Watson, and Jim Messina, as you know, didn't make it. And unfortunately, Allison Cross, who was going to come here with the Cox family, she got snowed in too. But at some point I was trying to get them all here, but then I said, wait a minute. Here we're here about patient safety, and I'm pushing them to do an unsafe thing of trying to travel through that to be here. And I finally called them and said, no, stop trying. I'm pulling the plug. Don't come. So fortunately, they're all safe, and they'll be with us next year. So without further ado, let's get on with the day. Thank you.